First, the Student Activity Fee Policy Review. I preface my comments on this review by first stating unequivocally that the board is not taking any action on this issue today, so there will be more opportunities for discussion and comment on any proposed changes. I reiterate that no action is being taken today. The board has heard from various students that they think something is being voted on today, and some students who think a vote has already taken place. Both, oh God, fake news really? Both, as they say, are false. To be clear, the board has not been asked and will not be voting on any changes today. Any vote to be taken in the future will include extensive input from all relevant constituencies. CUNY and this Board of Trustees is committed to continuing the long-standing tradition of students shaping the ways in which student activity fees support student life and essential student services. To honor this commitment, the board and the university wants to ensure that the student activity fees are administered in ways that are consistent with prevailing laws and best practices. Like many of the policies and procedures at CUNY, many of which this board has begun to update, the governing documents, policies, and procedures of the college associations and student governments have not been updated in many, many years. As such, at our October 23rd, 2017 Board of Trustees meeting, the board adopted a resolution directing the General Counsel's Office and the Student Affairs Office to perform a comprehensive review of CUNY's student activity fee policy, infrastructure, and allocation process via a task force to be co-chaired by the university's student Senate chairperson for the purpose of making recommendations for changes in the system in compliance with prevailing laws and best practices. We ask that the changes be implemented in time for the 2018-2019 school year. The task force is made up of 13 members, including 6 USS student representatives, 1 faculty representative, 2 presidents, and 4 campus student affairs officers. An internal working group of the task force was also established, comprised of administrators from legal, student affairs, and finance, as well as representative presidents, students, and faculty. The task force, whose primary purpose is to provide input and advice throughout the review process, was charged to work with relevant constituents to share information and solicit feedback on proposed recommendations to be presented to the board for approval. Since its inception this fall, the task force and its working group have held 13 meetings. It's become clear over the past few weeks that in spite of the extensive efforts of the task force and its representatives, students and faculty feel there has been a lack of information and transparency regarding the changes to be made. The board appreciates the concerns that have been brought directly to us through testimony at the recent hearing, a letter from the PSC, a resolution of the Student Senate, which very specifically addresses the lack of support for these changes at this time. In order to address these concerns and clarify the recommendations, the task force is presented to the board's Committee on Student Affairs for discussion. The board has instructed Interim Vice Chancellor Chris Rosa to develop a communications and outreach plan to clearly identify the specific changes being recommended and the reasons for these changes. The plan will include a website where all relevant documents, including meeting minutes, will be posted. Further, this plan will include an open letter to every college newspaper.